Let's talk about Thursday Night Football. Week 5 of the NFL got underway with a classic game between the Rams and 49ers. Let's talk about it. Last night, the 49ers went into SoFi Stadium to meet the Rams. Both teams were 3-1. The 49ers are walking wounded. Basically, no starting quarterback, no starting wide receivers, no starting tight end, no starting defensive end lost for the season, a rookie cornerback guarding two of the best receivers for the Los Angeles Rams. They have no chance, right? Wrong. Somehow, some way, the 49ers were able to pull off an overtime win against the very good Los Angeles Rams team who had all their weapons. Fumbles again come into play. It seems every week somebody is punching out a ball, causing a fumble. Kyren Williams lost the ball going into the end zone on a 1-yard touchdown run that was apparent they were going to take the lead, but no, the ball gets punched out. My takeaway from that, actually, skilled as these defensive players are getting this ball punched out, the thing, if you go back and watch that replay, the thing that caused the fumble, it wasn't the fist hitting the ball. It was the fist hitting Kyren Williams' helmet first, then following through to the ball. When you get hit in your head like that, you just get confused for a second. So I think just that brief moment where he got hit in the head, he's already getting pounded as he's driving through the line. But that's so disconcerting as a player when you have that happen to you. So when he gets hit and then immediately the follow through hits the ball, it kind of makes sense why he fumbled that. It was really the shot to the head that I think caused that fumble. I mean, of course, the fist hitting the ball clearly was the finishing touch on that, but I think it's the same kind of thing when a player gets flipped upside down, your kind of reaction is, oh, your hands get loose. So I think when he got hit, his hands might have loosened up a little bit and the ball got punched out. 49ers recover. They get the ball back and go on to win the game. Another blocked extra point. The Rams missing that extra point when they came all the way back. They're about to take the lead, go 21-20. The extra point is blocked. I don't know what it is. It seems these defensive players this year are doing everything with blocking kicks, field goals. Maybe these kickers are kicking it a little lower now, maybe because they're all able to kick the ball 60, 70 yards every kicker. Their technique, they have to get the ball lower to get it to go further. In that case, he was an extra point. There's no reason he should have been kicking it so low. But a big paw went up and knocked the extra point just wide. So that 20-20 at that point, 49ers come back down. They kick a 59-yard field goal. It's a matter of time this year before somebody gets 70 yards. They're all able to hit 60 yards like it's nothing, but extra points apparently are a big problem all around the league. Defensive players are doing a better job at blocking kicks. They're getting better at knocking the ball out. There's turnovers every week. That's a problem. Last week, the 49ers were a victim of 4 turnovers, and they lost that game to the Jaguars. Now this week, it comes back. They are the benefactors of turnovers and win this game in overtime. The Rams, they're a very good team. I mean, they were losing 20-0. Mac Jones was doing his best Joe Montana impersonation the entire game, probably having the best game of his life. I'm sitting here as a Patriots fan watching Mac Jones do what he did and just reminding myself of how they did him dirty up in New England. He was great that first year with Josh McDaniels at the helm. And then I just am reminded of how I always felt that Bill Belichick did him dirty by not giving him an offensive coordinator and a real quarterbacks coach in his last couple of years. And his production just went down, down, down. And then, of course, he's cast off to Jacksonville and eventually winds up in San Francisco. Him having to suffer through Joe Judge and Matt Patricia as his offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, 2 defensive coaches, it just didn't make sense to me at the time. I was pulling my hair out during the end of his time in New England because it seemed unfair. He had no weapons. He had no coach. There was no leadership for him. Like, what was he expected to do? So I'm happy that he had the game he had, but I was sitting there watching in the first half, literally talking to myself out loud, saying, where was this in New England? This is the Mac Jones that we saw in his rookie year in New England when he led them to the playoffs. Clearly, this kid can play quarterback. He just needs the right system. I think you look at Kyle Shanahan, the coach of 49ers, and at this point, he's got to be a leading candidate for coach of the year just because of all he's had to deal with the injuries on both sides of the ball. All your starting playmakers are out besides Christian McCaffrey, who, oh my God, I know in fantasy, I was like, I want to stay away from him. He's had an injury bug the last 2 years. But if you have him on your fantasy team, he's filling up the stat sheets, catching passes, running the ball. He's back to his old Christian McCaffrey self. So hopefully he stays healthy because Lord knows they need him. If they lose Christian McCaffrey, I don't know. They might be in trouble. But back to Mac Jones. He's playing hurt too. He went down a couple times in the game, but I feel like it's the brace that's causing the issue for him. If you watch those replays and watch the way he goes down, he lands on that knee brace. And I think it's just digging into him and causing him severe pain. So I don't know, maybe they need to look into padding that a little better around him. But he got up, he shook it off. There's no way he's coming out of this game. He's playing for his career right now. Kyle Shanahan is resurrecting his career. Mac Jones is now 3-0, filling in for Brock Purdy, whose toe injury reared its ugly head. And, just not enough time to recover from last week to this week with the Thursday night game. But they had Mac Jones, and I think Mac Jones knew it. When he was down, he's not going to get up. He was definitely struggling. If you look at some of the takes on the sideline, eating bananas to try to keep his muscles from cramping. He's so exhausted, he's retching, but he fought through it all. He led this team to victory. If you see him after the game in his Harvey Two-Face Dent 49ers colored jacket at his press conference, he was not going to come out of that game. He was going to fight and get the win, and he did. And another former Patriot, Kendrick Bourne, he played together with Mac Jones in New England, and I was speculating in one of the earlier videos this week who's going to step up and be the wide receiver for them. Now they need wide receiver 1 and 2, and Kendrick Bourne seemed to be all of those things last night. Their backup tight end, Jake Tongas, he had a touchdown. Mac Jones always relied on tight ends. He loved throwing to Hunter Henry when he was in New England. So tight ends are going to flourish with Mac Jones. The timing of the system seems to fit Mac Jones perfectly. Let's nobody get crazy and say Brock Purdy, we don't need him. We need Brock Purdy. He's a pretty solid quarterback. Both of these quarterbacks and this system of Kyle Shanahan seem to fit them both very, very well. It was evident last night. I mean, if you didn't see the game, hopefully you taped it and are watching it today. It was another unbelievable game on a national game. The Rams, on the other hand, like I was saying earlier, they are a solid team. They are going to be in the playoff hunt for sure. They are going to be fighting for that division lead. This is a big one. It'll be interesting to see when these guys play again, how it turns out. Turnovers, miss extra points, as we already discussed, trouble. Matt Stafford looking great. Devontae Adams fitting in very nicely. Puka Nacua, probably the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. I don't think there's any question, but he was held relatively in control, both he and Devontae Adams. Another huge pass to Tutu Atwell late in the game. The Rams clearly were not going to play for a tie. They were playing for a win. I think maybe after seeing the Green Bay-Dallas game, Sean McVay decided, we're winning this game. Ties are weird. They were in field goal range, ready to go. Maybe the missed extra point earlier was in McVay's mind, not going to put his kicker in that situation again. Trusting Matt Stafford, trusting Kyron Williams, even though last time he was down in that area, he fumbled. 4th and 1. If they make that, they're probably going to go on and score a touchdown. But the 49ers defense came up huge, stopped them on the 4th and 1. That was a huge stop. A walk-off stop on 4th and 1. They win the game. Unbelievable. Sorry for the spoiler if you hadn't seen the game, but oh my gosh. I mean, these teams are they're up there among the elite, whether the culture of the 49ers came to the front, the winning traditions, the ghosts of past Super Bowl victories, and the West Coast offense was in full effect. Mac Jones clearly is a timing quarterback, as I knew from him from New England when he was with Josh McDaniels that first year. 10-6, they were in the playoffs. Mac Jones was a good quarterback. He's not the toss-aside quarterback that everyone made him to be. Like I said, he got done dirty by Belichick, being given defensive coordinators and special teams coaches to be his quarterback's coach. He had no weapons. He had no help. Not surprising he had to leave New England. I'm happy for him for the success. I am questioning some of his crazy outfits the last couple of weeks. Mac, maybe get the suits look a little loose, Mac. I know you're a big, strong guy, but come on, let's get a nice fitted suit. Someone on the 49ers who's got a little better taste and style. Let's get him a better suit instead of that red and black Two-Face coat that he was wearing. If you're a Batman fan, you'll know what that reference is. But what a game. I mean, seriously, I just had to come on here. It's just first thing in the morning. I had to come on here and talk about it because what an exciting game. I wonder if you had the same feelings that I did. The theme of the week seems to be injuries. There's a lot of injuries affecting other games this week that we're going to have to see how they play out. The 49ers were able to overcome all of those injuries and all of those questions, playing with their second strings and third strings at some position. They stepped up. The system that Kyle Shanahan is running clearly is working. The team has bought in. They're still fighting. Next man up mentality is in full effect in San Francisco. They had no business winning that game with all the injuries they were suffering. You wouldn't have been surprised they would lose. If I was a 49er fan, I wouldn't have felt so bad. I would say, well, it's understandable. We didn't have Ricky Pearsall. We didn't have Juwan Jennings. George Kittle's been out, and Brandon Ayuk hasn't played all year. Bosa is out. The cornerbacks are out. They were ripe for losing that game, and you wouldn't have blamed them if they did. But oh my goodness, what a win for them. What a win for Kyle Shanahan. I'm saying he's coach of the year at this point in the season. Through the first 5 games, Kyle Shanahan should get coach of the year for all they've had to suffer through. Being 4-1 at this point is unbelievable. The Rams, Sean McVay said after the game he was sick. He put those guys in that position. I get it. It's some of that 4th-and-1 thing I was talking about earlier in the year. I know they're doing these analytics now more than what they're seeing. They're just trusting the situation. 4th-and-1, we got to go for it. We're close. We can make 4th-and-1. I give him the benefit of the doubt for believing in his offensive line and his running backs for being able to get 3 feet and get that first down. But, San Francisco, they found something. There were 6 guys who met Kyren Williams in that hole as they did just a straight ahead dive. Maybe they should have done a tush push kind of a play. Maybe that might have help them better. But that play, the 49ers seemed ready for it. Robert Saleh had his team ready for it. Robert Saleh involved in his own bit of controversy last week, talking about Liam Coen and Sean McVay and these guys being very good at stealing signs. He meant it as a compliment, but it wasn't taken that way. As if you saw the video, I'll drop the link in the description below of the confrontation between Liam Coen and Robert Saleh if you hadn't seen it, which was great. But we're not talking about that right now. But there's been some fun, interesting things happening in the NFL so far this year. Unfortunately, injuries seem to keep being a big issue going forward. There's a bunch of games that are going to be affected by injuries. I'll talk about that in another video. But the primetime games this year, other than one so far, they've all been quite amazing. And you should watch Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, and Thursday Night Football because these games are like don't miss games. Definitely set your DVRs, record these games, watch them because they seem to be exciting and down to the wire each week. So another great game. 49ers are in first place in NFC West. Rams licking their wounds a little bit, but they played well. They fought back. They made it a game. So exciting. I'm rambling. That's how excited I am about this game. I'm happy for Mac Jones. Keep it up. Let's get you a better suit for your press conferences going forward. But what a game. Give me your thoughts below on the game. Let me know what you think. Did you find this game as exciting and entertaining as I did? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for listening to me be excited about a great football game. And if you love football as much as me, don't forget to like and subscribe and come back and watch all the videos. I do appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully Marcus is going to have his schedule open up and join me on the next Silva Linings Playbook. But I'm having fun talking to you guys. I'm having fun talking about football, and I appreciate you following, watching, and liking. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy week 5. Get ready for football on Sunday. Have a great day. Enjoy your Friday.